So I was looking through my phone and I got an alert of something in my photo memories of this fly that I tied a year ago. And so it's not really like the best looking fly at all. Well, this is what really kickstarted me to start tying flies and stuff like that. And so, for the past year or so, I've just been fly tying a lot. And I've been tying a lot of flies. Like, these are ones I've bought. But then all of these, all over here, I bought most of these. I meant made most of them. So some of these are complete duds, and then some of these are actually flies or patterns that I still like to use today. So I'm probably just gonna go over that kind of stuff. So it was last year when my chair broke, my office chair. So in the neighborhood, one of our neighbors was giving away a chair. So I took that, and it was like this really broken one. And so it had foam in it. And so what I started to do is tie flies with the foam that you can see from the office chair. And then as the legs, I used rubber bands, so it had awful action, but I tied a couple of flies like that. Like this. Like this horrible abomination. Or I tried to tie braid to the back end of that. So it looked more like a leg, and then also have that foam. So we have those, and then I tried to put rubber bands and cut those up and use it as a body right there. So those never really worked. But yeah, I made a solid collection of these for like a few weeks. And then I started buying foam, and that's when it really took off. And I started tying a ton of these beetles I saw online. So yeah, I was starting to tie these, and I got a little creative in that, and like a chenille bottom, or peacock curl, I think it is. And then I also have, once I started doing that stuff, I started hopping into tying like hopper patterns. This is like my oldest one, and probably one of my most successful ones. If you look really closely, the camera will focus. You can see all the little teeth marks on the bottom of it. Yeah, I tied a few of those, and then started to tie other flies and just buy more materials and just start getting used to stuff. So I started tying Chernobyl ants, like this one. Started tying crazy stuff like crane flies. And I bought popper heads, so I tied a few poppers. And as I did this, I got used to more of the materials and the functions. And some of these things never really worked out too well. Like, this was my first attempt at a Moorish hopper, where it was completely massive compared to the one, because I have a fly box of most of these flies I've tied, except for like these two up here, and then all these on the bottom I have not tied. But the rest, like this minnow imitation, I've tied by hand. So yeah, comparing that to one of my more recent Moorish hoppers, I think we can definitely see that the second attempt was way better than the first attempt. So yeah, and then I also started to dabble in streamers, where it's like a minnow streamer. So yeah, I haven't really talked too much about fly tying on my channel, but it is something I do other than bass fish. And I have like tons of containers where it's just like sliced turkey meat containers I just keep, and then obviously clean them out and then put all my stuff in there. And then also I have just like materials, like I have pearl stuff, I got bucktails, got like furs and stuff. So if you want me to do a video on fly tying and like tying some of the stuff that I would usually tie, then please like and subscribe and comment if you would want to see this. And see ya.